The Fantasy Booking Podcast proudly presents another installment of Squared Circle Cinema. I'm Mike, Big Tobacco Ryan, and with me, as always, is the muffler, Ryan Bruckner. And tonight, we discuss San Andreas, starring Paul Giamatti. And that's it. That's my intro. No more. I cut it short.
Are you prepared for the big one?
The big one?
I'm not pointing.
My next intro?
I'm not pointing at my penis. I'm talking about earthquakes, man.
Oh, okay, good.
Are you prepared?
Yeah,
Do you have
I'm prepared.
anything in your apartment?
Absolutely
Like
not.
water?
Nope.
Canned food?
Dude.
What's your plan? Like you live
No canned
in the
food.
heart of Los
Actually,
Angeles.
right now I do. If you're asking about right now, yes, I
Oh,
do. I have
what-
canned foods. I have 3 Campbell's canned soups, which I plan on eating later this week.
Look
And
at
I have
you.
water.
How much water?
It's a 3/4 full liter of the Smart Water.
You're gonna need more than that.
Yeah. Well, first, all right, I'll get supplies, all right? I'm right by a 7-Eleven. I'll go there first, loot it, raid as much shit as I possibly can, going right to higher ground, right? For me, that would probably be somewhere like this movie, San Fernando Valley. Probably go to Pacoima. Maybe I go to Sun Valley,
You have
Simi
to get in
Valley.
your car. You think you're gonna be able to get out of LA?
Dude.
What do you think the 101's gonna look like?
I think you underestimate how good of a service Uber is.
You think Uber's gonna? You're not gonna even be able to hail an Uber. The big one just happened, you idiot. You're not gonna have any cell service.
All right, that was a joke, all right? That was an Uber joke.
Well, the earthquakes are
Thanks for
serious
blowing it.
business.
No, I'm not prepared. I'm not ready. I've just discovered last night that I don't even own a fucking pair of pliers. I'm pathetic,
You
dude.
should buy a pair of pliers.
I did laundry at the laundromat in my apartment. I stuck the quarter in, and it got stuck. And it's stuck there right now. I'm ruining the dryer for everybody because my quarter got stuck
Do
halfway
people
in,
know it's you?
halfway out. No one saw me. Thank God.
What about a screwdriver?
And I was kind of thinking that maybe it's one of those dryers that they just shut off. Because it was
Scissors?
after 10 o'clock, so I wonder if they shut it off. They like locked it so you couldn't actually put quarters in it. And I'm just so goddamn tenacious,
Well,
you
I'm
know. I
sure
just
someone will
cram that
complain to the
motherfucker.
landlord. Somebody's
All you
not as
need
much
is
of
a pair of needle nose pliers, which I don't own, apparently. I have in a cardboard box in my closet. I got a hammer. I got some caulk. There's a caulk gun in there for some fucking reason. And 1 Phillips screwdriver. That's it.
You could be a good neighbor and just inform your landlord.
No way in hell. No one saw me. Yeah, hi. There's
I
something
actually
wrong
we've
with the
started
dryer, or?
filling up.
Yeah, there's something
like,
wrong with it.
We've
What?
started filling up our old water gallons, filling them back up with tap water, and
So you're getting
storing
ready?
them.
Well, it's not a
Ready.
matter of if it's coming. It's a matter
It's a
of
matter of
when.
We're overdue.
And we're going to be fucked.
We're overdue. is what
Over
they said.
150 years, man.
My Paul Giamatti. Okay, I said it stars Paul Giamatti. It stars The Rock, everybody. All right? Come on. Get out of here. We
Paul
open with a
Giamatti's-
heart necklace floating in, I don't know, the sky? Maybe it's water? Ominous. Foreshadowing. Foreboding. Ryan, how many cities can you name in the San Fernando Valley?
Pasadena.
No, not in the
Isn't
San.
that-
No, that's
not-
east
What valley
of the valley.
is the Pasadena?
It's not in a valley. It's in L.A. It's in Los Angeles County.
Part of a valley. Everything that's by the mountains going by the
Oh,
210 is.
well,
a
then
valley.
the San Bernardino Valley.
No,
I don't know. It's not part,
you
dude.
don't know shit about valleys.
All right. Anyway, well, I do know that's where this movie opens. There's a girl driving recklessly on a windy ass
Yeah.
road,
She deserved.
probably
what
in
she got.
Reseda.
There's no
Not Reseda.
road like that in Reseda.
Simi Valley. That looked like Simi Valley to me.
She was on a cliffside.
Yeah. So she's texting on her phone. She's Snapchatting,
Getting water out of her bag.
getting water out of her bag,
her eye-
narrowly
taking her eyes
missing
off the
car
road.
after car. Reckless endangerment. But nothing happens to her,
Except for rocks falling on her car.
and that's out of her control. So sure, she gets fucking destroyed. Flips over the side, gets stuck vertically on the cliff. But no worries, hun. The Rock's on duty today. And he's got a camera crew documenting his every move. So you know he's going to give you his best.
600 documented rescues. That reminded me of New Jack, where he's like, I have 3 justifiable homicides.
Dude, these guys are hardcore. Like, they were over Fallujah, you know? They probably served
Yeah.
tours of duty.
Chief Pilot
Best
Raymond Gaines of
of
the
the best.
Los Angeles Fire Department. You know, he's had to deal with some brush fires.
Mhm.
He's probably out there in Santa Clarita,
I'm just doing my job, ma'am.
that big fire that just happened.
I'm just doing my job.
Was it all ashy by your house?
No, not really. It wasn't all that bad. By my house. But at work in Burbank, which is in the valley, red skies. Red skies. You open the window, and a red beam of light would come in. It was doomsday, Armageddon type shit.
Yeah,
Escape from LA.
that's cool.
It was, actually. I mean, devastating, but the sky was beautiful. It was weird. Yeah.
So they save this broad.
Yep.
It gets
And-
a
but,
little
like,
hairy there. The guy gets
she's in
his arm
such a-
crushed.
It gets super scary, and time is of the essence, and they always have to explain what they're doing before they do it, wasting valuable time. Okay, Natalie,
And they've been
I need to stabilize the car. Okay, I'm going to do it right now.
they've endangered that camera crew.
Natalie, this is called a Petzl pulley. Okay, I'm going to use this to harness your car. Okay, I'm getting there. Even The Rock does it when he comes down. Yeah, total endangerment for the poor
Natalie-
camera guy and this beautiful. God, that interviewer was sick.
Let me explain the physics of a pulley system to you.
Even The Rock went. Yeah, even The Rock came down and was like, Natalie, we're gonna save you. Okay, you're gonna go home.
Natalie, turn to page 3 of your workbook.
Okay, well, will you just save me already? God, I'm on a vertical. My car's vertical on a fucking cliff. Car goes down moments after she is rescued. And the guy that gets his leg stuck gets freed somehow, too.
So then we cut to one of my favorite actors, Paul Giamatti.
Mine, top 10 for me,
Caltech.
for sure.
Yeah, I love character actors.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
It's another home run.
yeah. How
He
do you-
was just like, I could do that. I could do that character. Yeah, I could do that. I love it when he's explaining something devastating that's going to happen. And pray for the people of San Francisco. This is going to be bad.
He
No, I'm
if
saying
that
not a matter
fact
of
is
if.
true that he says that recent Japanese earthquake moved the island 8 feet.
Yeah,
That's pretty crazy.
pretty gnarly.
That
That was
was
that would have been a great lecture to go see.
that
Paul
was-
Giamatti giving slides about earthquakes for an hour and a half. I'll sign up. Yeah, where do I sign up for that?
That earthquake was like this movie. Do you remember when that happened and the tsunami
Yeah.
happened and like
Yeah, it was
just houses were like washing away?
devastating. Yeah,
Man.
and nuclear reactors were going off.
Yeah,
Silos were spilling.
that was
Do
the
you
craziest natural disaster. I think I've
unbelievable?
ever
I was watching the news when they were having live footage of that,
Yeah.
and like, oh my god, this is devastating. Do you have tsunami nightmares, fears, any phobias of tsunamis?
No,
I don't either. I never have dreams of being sucked in the water, and I've had bad experiences in the ocean too. I've been sucked under the water before. Thought I was gonna fucking die. Everyone's experienced that, right? But like, nah, I'm not all that afraid of that or heights. I don't know if I have any phobias, man. I told you I'm like the
I
Bruce
don't,
Willis character in Unbreakable.
I don't really have any either. I mean, I'm not for like taking big risks like skydiving and stuff. I don't see
Yeah,
the
me
point
neither.
in doing something like
Because I wouldn't enjoy it.
that.
I would
Yeah.
be so petrified.
The anticipation. I have fear of
Yeah.
anticipation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good
my
point.
phobia.
And that's dread.
Yeah, I have fear of
dread is the fear of anticipation. I would never do it. Like that plane ride up would be just
The longest
such an
of your
awful,
life.
emotional, dreadful experience.
Yeah.
Because like the likelihood of you not dying is greater if you just stay on the fucking ground. I have a slight fear of flying.
You do?
Yeah, I always get.
When's
get
the
pretty
last time you
nervous.
flew?
Last time I flew was to Wisconsin.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
to
when
Milwaukee
when
with
you went
Chris.
to-
Was the last time I
When you
flew.
botched that trip to
It
Milwaukee.
was awful. We walked everywhere. We just walked. We could not comprehend the public transportation system at all. We walked. I literally think we walked 100 miles total on that trip. Not fucking kidding. Like the first day, we were like, man, we really blew it. It was a lot of walking, huh? But it was kind of like, yeah, well, we're exploring a new town. We're just walking all day. And then the second day, we walked even more. We just walked all day that day. It's like, fuck, man. Can we get I'm trying to get a taxi.
What a
And then the third day, it happened again.
these
Like
people
we
have
just-
smartphones.
we walked from Miller Park, which is in the marshland, all the way to our Comfort Inn, which was like 30 miles away. We just walked all night, man. Just two dudes in the hotel, like, God. Taking our shoes off and shit. Like, I don't want to do that ever again.
God.
And then we did for 3 fucking days straight.
How does this happen?
I don't know, but it does.
Well, I thought we were watching San Andreas.
Yeah.
So he says that we're 100 years overdue for the big one.
For 100 years.
I was more scared of earthquakes when I was a kid. Were you scared of earthquakes when you were a kid?
Absolutely.
Oh,
I remember the
terrified.
Northridge
You-
quake.
You'd hear
Vividly.
a truck go by, and I'd be like, "Was that an earthquake?"
Yeah. I was
Oh.
up in camp as a kid when the Northridge quake hit.
Oh wow, where is your
I-
camp?
It was
Arrowhead?
Camp Bruin Woods, which was somewhere in the valley. But you know, when you're a kid, you have no fucking idea where you are. And I haven't since. It was like a friend's summer camp that they always went to. I tagged along that year, wherever Bruin Woods is. But I think it's in the San Fernando Valley. And I was in the shower, okay, and I ran out. And as a kid, dude,
Did you have
because
a
I was
towel?
I had a towel. But here's the catch. Like I was so petrified of my body that I draped it over my shoulders. Like that's how I would wear a towel as a kid.
So
I
dick
ran
was out?
outside with my tiny wanger just dingling.
Oh man!
And like my friend's
that
parents are just
tiny
like,
wanger.
oh man,
Oh.
this just got even more devastating. This is like the worst
Did
thing ever.
women and
Yeah, everyone had to run outside, dude.
they all saw your dick.
I was horrified. I had no idea what was happening. And I was like, well, I got to grab a towel.
What did
This is
people-
how I wear towels.
What did
what the
people
fuck?
say to you?
What are you going to say? What are you going to say to an 8-year-old fat kid?
Eventually, someone's like, "Okay, it's over. You can put some pants on now."
Quite a shake, huh? That was pretty
Oh my!
pretty scary there, huh?
Oh, you're still not wearing pants. My daughter's looking at your dick.
I bet it wasn't. Now that I remember it, like I'm picturing like the whole town. But like I'm sure it was just like maybe definitely my friend's mom. She was like, all right, let's go back inside. Let's go back inside. Okay. Whew. And to this day, I call my
God.
dick the aftershock.
Oh man, you really needed
I forgot
Um,
about that.
a man to help you there.
I know. What the hell's going on with my friend's dad? He should have been like, dude, whew, never do that again.
You should wear. It's much better to cover your dick than your titties.
I was more self-conscious about my titties. Like that was like how I would like walk from the bathroom to my room. Like that was the walk
Were
over
you
the
even-
shoulder. So if you're behind me, you can see my butt.
Were you even
Oh.
conscious of your exposed the dick? Were you even trying to put like a hand?
Dude, that's
over
the
it?
point, man. I was tripping out. I had no idea. Like, I was like, all right, my dick is not important right
You
now.
were too busy crying.
Where's my towel?
You were just. Were you crying?
Hey, what
You're
you,
just a guy with.
Get some pants
Yeah,
on that kid.
There's a kid
right
there's a-
outside. After the most devastating
there's a-
earthquake ever, you see this little kid with long hair.
There's a 180-pound kid standing out there with a towel draped around him, crying with his dick out.
All right.
Someone go help him.
Let's get
Oh man,
someone help it.
I can't even talk about this movie now.
It's a good movie. It's okay.
But I can't stop thinking.
It's a
about
pretty good movie.
your dick.
Let's see. So he saves. So Paul Giamatti's the professor.
He says we're 100 years overdue for the big one.
100. Okay, he tells his class that like it's coming. And the Rock's daughter, we meet. She's white.
Yeah, she does
White.
not look like
She
his
is
daughter,
white.
even though her mom's white.
I thought it was a stepdaughter maybe at first, but no. So he has divorce papers that he has not yet signed. Can't pull the trigger yet, right? So him and his wife are going through some rough times, cantankerous at best. Now we are at the Hoover Dam, where Paul Giamatti and his buddy, we meet for the first time, are testing magnetic pulses,
There were some cluster quakes.
cluster quakes, and they thought, I don't know, that somehow triggered them to get some documented, I don't know, proof that they could predict future earthquakes. And you know what? A quake happened, and it was pretty goddamn big. It was like a 7.8.
7.1.
7.1. Destroys the Hoover Dam.
Yeah.
Pretty good CGI.
Yeah, and the dude was stuck in the dam.
Yeah.
He's like, you gotta get out of here.
The dude was stuck. He runs as the dam's collapsing. He saves this little girl who freezes,
Yeah.
right? Throws her to safety as he dies.
Well, he gets a spike stuck in his leg.
Stuck. He can't move.
Yeah, and he's like, he tells the girl, close your eyes.
Close your eyes.
You don't want to see me die like
You
this.
brat. This is all your fault. You little shit. Look at me.
Giamatti is so good at being panicked.
Get off the move.
He's good at
Yeah.
panicking. He steals this movie for me.
Everybody off.
Everybody off.
But it's like, yeah, we got it, Paul. Oh, I thought we're supposed to stop, drop, and roll. Oh, that's fires? Okay, yeah, I'm going to fucking run. But he
So
did
we
a good
cut
job.
to
How many takes was
Rock's
that, do you think?
X. I think he did
probably
it all
nailed
in
it.
one
Yeah.
take. Nails it. Carla Gugino. She was always one of my crushes. I've always loved this woman.
I think The Rock could do better.
I love her.
Yeah,
Don't
she's
you?
all right.
How dare
I
you?
know, you're right. You're right. She's got
Didn't you watch Magic Mike XXL?
Yes,
I
I
won't
did.
have you.
something
I won't have you judge her this way.
right. She'll definitely tell you what to do.
You
Something empowering.
leave this queen alone.
No, you're right. Okay, fine. I won't
Beautiful.
open that can of worms.
And so she's marrying this guy,
I won't
Daniel.
open that egg of pantyhose.
She's gonna marry this guy, Daniel. He's a real knob job.
Yeah, it really is. And you know what? At first,
Yeah.
which is what I always do. I think this is because of Mrs. Doubtfire. I wanted to hate Pierce Brosnan, but then I loved him so much. So now when I
Yeah.
first meet the new guy,
They soften
the
him up at the
stepdad,
beginning, but then
yeah,
they
I
make him a
wanna,
bitch at the
like,
end.
then
the end.
they make him a murderer,
Yeah.
basically. But like, he has that little speech on the plane.
But she's like, "Why did you never have kids?" And he's like, "Well, I did have kids. They're called buildings.
They're called buildings.
I build buildings.
He's too busy raising buildings. He can't raise.
This
a
is my
child.
son, the strongest building in San Francisco."
Well, your son is going to go down real quick, buddy. But he has a nice, hey, look, I'm never going to be your father, right? Because he's the fucking Rock. I follow that guy on Twitter. I think he's amazing. I think his cheat days are hilarious. His photos he posts of him eating like pancakes. But you know what?
But he can't build a building.
He can't. He didn't say that though. It was like, okay, I'm going to like this guy. And
But
boy,
he thought that. That's what he was saying.
yeah.
And so Giamatti gets with that same reporter from the rescue mission.
Thank God.
earlier.
I needed more of her, man.
Yeah. And he's saying that he needs to warn everybody about San Andreas fault. Some shit's going down.
Yeah.
And then
Big time. Hey, we're at Caltech here. I think we got some cameras. Or not yet. No, wait. Now he's just doing an interview. They come to him.
Yeah.
Right.
To talk about, because his friend just died, and they're like, "We know this is a sensitive time." He's like, "What? We gotta work. I'd rather be here."
He died for this. This is important because like his staff is like, "Oh my God, it's going off again, Paul. I got red flashes."
Piece of excrement
Oh.
washed out to sea.
Oh,
That's from sideways.
nice. Hey, you get to see some dick frontal nudity in that movie too.
Yeah.
Did that guy come running out with the towel over his
He
shoulders?
didn't have a towel. He
No
just
towel.
was trying to catch him. Just dick flopping everywhere.
I ran out of that hotel the same exact way in Northridge as a kid with the
Except your
towel.
dick was tiny.
No, yeah, but I'm saying like the same
Dribbled.
speed, the same momentum, just right out of the gate.
Did you have pubes?
No,
No pubes.
no pubes, none.
Oh God.
Horrifying.
So the Rock's daughter Blake is following for this British boy Ben.
Yeah.
In the waiting room, they have a little connection.
Mm-hmm. In San Francisco.
Yeah. And then Carla Gugino goes out to dinner with Daniel's sister, Kylie Minogue.
Wait, but you didn't mention Ollie, the young whippersnapper's brother.
Oh yeah.
He's got the tour guide.
Yeah, he's got this book that's everything you need to know about.
They're on holiday. Might as well take my brother after my interview, right?
Ollie's pretty great. I like Ollie.
So she's eating dinner or lunch.
I
with
can't
this
wait
cold
to be
dish
20.
And the Quake cap, another Quake cap.
Yeah.
And she's conveniently on the phone with The Rock when it happens.
Yep. Wait.
Blake gets stuck in the parking garage with
This
Daniel.
is so we're in downtown.
Yeah.
This is like a fancy rooftop restaurant. Beautiful. I don't know where that is. Or if it was just a set. Probably the latter.
A lot of it was filmed in Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Great. By the
The
110.
earthquake happens. Blake, The Rock's daughter, gets stuck in the parking garage with Daniel.
And this is when
Daniel
we
just
realize that
bails on
Daniel
her.
is indeed a heel. Totally bails. But at
Yeah.
first, he's like, there's nothing I can do here.
Let me
You're
go
stuck in
get
this car.
some help.
I'm going to go get some help. And then when he witnessed somebody die in front of him,
He's like,
he
I'm
freaked
out of
out
here.
and he panicked and he ran.
He pulled a George Costanza.
How so?
Did you ever see that episode where
Probably
he was
not.
at his girlfriend's kid's
Yes.
son's party, and there's a fire in the
Yes.
kitchen? He's like, fire!
Right.
He
Yeah.
knocks over
I
the
do
old
remember that.
lady.
Right.
And
Wasn't he eating like
then he was
eclairs?
like, I was clearing a path.
He was eating eclairs.
No, that's a different one.
Okay. No, I do remember that though. Like he totally.
Yeah.
As far as the
He
fight
knocks
or
people
flight
over.
goes.
The one where he's eating eclairs is when he's eating stuff out of the trash, and his girlfriend's mom sees him, and she thinks he's like some kind of bum.
Okay. Whatever. That's great. I'm going to completely make a divergent here away from Seinfeld because as much as I love Seinfeld and as much as I love listening to you talk about Seinfeld, I don't like Seinfeld. No, I do like Seinfeld. I love Seinfeld, but I don't like hearing you talk about Seinfeld. That's what I meant to say. That's not true. Are there any ties between Seinfeld and professional wrestling at all? At all?
They
Just
talk
a glimpse.
about there's an episode where Kramer talks about Killer Kowalski.
That's weak.
That's a direct
It counts,
connection.
but he had been retired for decades.
Yeah, but he mentions Killer Kowalski, and he mentions that he used to squeeze people in stomachs.
Like, what if has Larry David ever hosted a Raw? That would be great.
That would be
It
great.
would be the best Raw ever.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you do?
I'm not gonna go out there and do that.
I would. I would be a blast.
Oh, Roman Reigns.
Oh, look at my old man fingers.
Why you gotta waste
This
the
is true,
water?
they do grow.
Why are you wasting a whole bottle of water on your head?
Okay.
Do you not respect water?
So the big one hits, right?
She's on the phone with The Rock.
You don't
and he's
respect
on
wood?
his way to save her.
Yes, the wife. And yeah, he does save
There's
her.
a lot of crazy shit happening.
A lot of crazy shit.
A chef catches on fire.
and right
She
now-
like opens a door and there's a guy hanging from a pole and then he falls off.
Total carnage.
Yeah.
Like we're talking
Yeah.
Titanic type shit.
And then
Gnarly.
like, he told her to go to the roof, but then everybody's like, I'm not going to the fucking
You
roof.
out of your mind?
She's like, please come with me to the roof. And everybody's like,
Like,
fuck
no.
you.
Are you out of your?
This
This place is
building's
going
falling
down, bitch.
And then she made it to the roof. She barely made it onto the helicopter. She
His-
does that gimmick where she's running on ground that's falling.
Yeah.
And she gets on,
It's an
on the
awful plan
helicopter
A.
at the last minute.
The getting to higher ground plan, which was plan A in John, what was it? What's the Rock's name? Anyway, his mind, Raymond's mind,
Raymond,
never worked. It didn't work in San Francisco.
Raymond Gaines.
It sure as hell didn't work in L.A. He was lucky that he saved her.
Yeah.
She could have died 17 times. But here we get one of my favorite, or I mean, really the only reason I watch disaster movies is when landmarks that I recognize get destroyed. There's a really good scene here.
Yeah.
We got the
And
Hollywood
man,
sign. You got Chinatown.
It gets completely
You got Little
destroyed.
Tokyo.
There's nothing. You
My
would be
fucking apartment complex,
if you
dude,
were there,
gone.
you would be dead.
The U.S. Bank building, gone. Bank of
You-
America Plaza, dude. That's where I go to my doctor.
You wouldn't.
What if I was at
you wouldn't
Kaiser
make
that
it.
day?
You wouldn't make
What
it.
if I was seeing my PCP Dr. Pio that day?
You'd probably die in your bed.
I would die. No, well, I would die at the Bank of America Plaza with dignity. Kaiser.
No, you would probably be sleeping.
But more importantly,
and dead in your
my
apartment.
PCP would be dead too. He's a wonderful man. Yeah, you're probably right. Well, what time did it hit? Is this like noon?
Yeah, you're probably asleep.
Well, is it during the week?
Maybe it's a weekend.
Maybe I'm in the San Fernando Valley where the big one's really going to hit.
Well, they're like, what are we gonna do now that they're in the helicopter and her pussy's all wet from that rescue?
Yeah.
And he's like,
We're going to go save
we're
our
gonna
daughter.
get our daughter.
Is that like, okay, great. Is that the most commendable idea? No. He's
Yeah.
saving one life for the sake of thousands.
How long?
Like he's the best man on the
Yeah.
job. They need him elsewhere.
But he's just focused on one.
Focused
person.
on his daughter because he already lost one, which we discover a little bit later.
How long does it take to ride a helicopter to San Francisco? Is it the same as? It's probably like an hour.
It's
More
not the
than a plane
same
ride?
as flying. Yeah, that sounds probably about right. It's probably
So,
like a
Like
probably
2
like
hours,
a 3-hour
2 to 3
chopper
hours.
flight. Yeah, something like that. I have no fucking clue. I'm just guessing. I've never been on a helicopter in my entire life. I've always
Me
wanted
neither.
to, though.
Well, their engine blows, so they end up in Bakersfield.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
The Bakersfield Plaza.
Meanwhile, Rock's daughter is
And-
looking for a she gets rescued by the British dude,
Mhm.
and they go to look for a landline.
You know what though, and I'm sorry to go back to Bakersfield here. And by the way, Bakersfield looks kind of the same after
They
all
actually-
the devastation.
They actually did film in Bakersfield.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course they did because that plaza, that's where Johnny Garlic's is. I'm
It
positive.
was?
Yes. See it again. I'm almost positive that we've been there.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to watch that again.
I could be wrong, but it looked anyway. Whatever. The
Johnny
Bakersfield.
Garlic's is a
Oh,
Guy
I'm sorry.
Fieri restaurant.
Guy Fieri.
Maybe
I've gone
people
twice.
like
Ryan's gone once. I preferred it the second time, A, because you were not there, and B, because they amped up the game with the fried calamari. Tasted really good. And they had the cherry Coke ribs, which you wanted to order, but you were denied.
Moving on.
Still a touchy subject with you, isn't it?
So Giamatti is saying there's a swarm event happening. There's gonna be a big fucking quake that's gonna hit San Francisco, and he needs them to get out. People
Everybody.
of San Francisco, get out. Have you seen Private Parts?
Yes. 100
When,
times.
When he's
You are the
pig vomit and he
fucking
fires
Antichrist.
Robin. He's like, Robin, get the fuck out.
Yep, I remember that.
Robin, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I remember. I made me
Dusty.
think.
I didn't say that.
This scene made me think of him going like, "People of San Francisco, get the fuck out!"
Yeah. Oh, man. That's what
Because you need to go to your safety.
Yes, that's where he went. Yeah. That was still inside of him. He brought that out.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And I think I'm gonna go with that scene in Private Parts. When I really got angry firing Robin. I think I'm gonna go with that.
I don't know. I feel like my Paul Giamatti's getting a little better, Ryan.
I think it was better like
Let's
5 minutes
fucking
ago.
move on.
You notice that disaster movies always have an estranged couple that come together in the disaster?
Yeah.
Same thing happened in Twister. Same thing happened in Independence Day. Twister, Helen Hunt, and Bill Paxton are estranged.
It's a beautiful setup. It's a beautiful setting for
Independence
that.
Day, Jeff Goldblum and his ex-wife that works at the White House.
When you're faced with real adversity and the way you react to it,
it brings
brings people back together. It's like, oh, that's why we fell in love. Now, will they divorce 6 months later? Probably.
Well, he didn't sign the divorce papers yet, so
Just in general, though.
They just won't file anymore.
I mean, these aren't the healthiest relationships, you know?
Well, you know,
because there's a lot of lust and
Daniel's
shock
out
and,
of the picture.
Yeah, that's true. You left my daughter? If you're not already dead, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, that was a good. She says, "I'm gonna fucking kill you."
I feel like I swear too much. So
that
I
was their
didn't
one
wanna-
fuck that they were allowed. To
Oh yeah,
be PG.
there you go. PG-13, one fuck. That's all you get.
Yeah. And they process a lot of shit on the plane ride. They take a plane from Bakersfield to San Francisco, and they're processing stuff about their dead daughter, and she's like, "If you couldn't save our daughter, nobody could have."
Yeah.
That means he's the best at saving
I
people.
wonder what went down.
They
Like,
were
I
on
wonder
the
if he was kind of buzzed, you know,
whitewater
on Bud
rafting.
Lights. You know, they're on vacation, and maybe he could have saved her, and that's why he's harboring such guilt.
Yeah.
But I doubt it. I doubt he drinks.
He had a.
Does The Rock drink? He goes clubbing.
He pulled a muscle, hit a Charlie horse.
Awful.
They parachute out of the plane into AT&T Park.
Yep.
As Blake, his daughter, makes her way to Nob Hill because they were supposed to meet at Coit Tower, but that shit's all fucked up. So
Yep.
they go
Once
to
again,
Nob
going to
Hill.
higher ground does not work.
Yeah, higher ground with all these buildings because the quake hits. All this
Yeah.
glass shatters everywhere.
You know what?
Stabs that Limey in the leg.
Oh, it's terrible. And you know what I'm a big fan of, like during these disaster movies, and they do it in a lot of zombie movies. I think they did it in The Walking Dead, is when you got total gridlock on the side of the freeway that's exiting and absolutely nothing on the side that's entering. And they had a great opportunity for that. Of course, it's been done before. Maybe that's why I didn't do it. You know, the aerial shot and the helicopter going into the city right over the street, and there's just cars everywhere. It's like people are just like going in, going out, visiting neighbors.
Like, get the fuck out. Didn't
It's
you
like-
listen to Paul?
Everybody.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try Paul Giamatti's voice anymore because I've done it enough. And I would also like you to refrain to continue doing Paul Giamatti impressions as well. Please.
Oh, I'd march to the beat of my own.
All right, that's fair.
So then the tsunami's coming now that the quake hit. But this is actually a scientific inaccuracy.
Well,
If there were to be a big earthquake in San Francisco,
yeah.
the tsunami would go across the Pacific, the other side. It wouldn't come back there.
Oh, okay. I'll allow it.
I read that in the
During the
fun
wake of the
facts on
Japanese
IMDb.
disaster
So,
in Japan.
So director Brad Payton brought in Thomas Jordan, a USC a USC professor and director of the Southern California Earthquake Center to fact check the script for plausibility. Though both Payton and Dwayne Johnson
He was paid to do that.
contend that the science portrayed in the film is accurate, Thomas Jordan was quoted as saying, "I gave them free advice, some of which they took, but much of which they didn't. Magnitude 9s are too big for the San Andreas fault, and it can't produce a big tsunami."
Oh, God. Are you kidding me? Okay, then it's supernatural. Who cares? How much time, energy, and money and research went into that team investigating this shit. Great investigative journalism there, pal. They have to have the tsunami in San Francisco because the story has taken us to San Francisco. Just allow it, Ryan. It's fine.
Saying it's a scientific inaccuracy.
Next
That's
scene.
all. That's all. I was just making a fun fact. You have to shit on everything. I guess your ecstasy wore off.
Oh, that was fun? Huh. Well,
Well,
you
you're
have a
right.
funny way
it
of
can't be fun because you're here.
funny way of showing it.
You're here draping a towel around your body for some reason.
That was that. I believe that was 1992.
So they're in the water. They're on a boat now. The tsunami's coming, and they have to ride the wave up.
Yeah.
And
I
they
like this
almost
scene.
run into a giant
Oil tanker.
oil tanker, and like
Got a bunch of cans on it.
Cans are on it. And for some reason, Daniel is on the Golden Gate Bridge. Who the hell knows? Like, I would, if there was an earthquake, the last place I would be is a bridge. Especially
Well, he's
if,
trying to get to Oakland.
He should have just stayed in I'd rather just be in San Francisco than be on the Golden
Yeah.
Gate Bridge.
Well,
I wouldn't take any bridge out of the bay.
he's a runner, you know? He's just running. That's all he knows how to do.
He gets squished by one of the tankers.
Right there on the Golden Gate Bridge, which was shaking like crazy. It's crazy how those bridges shake like that.
I felt like this
They
movie,
bend and wobble.
to tie it in with wrestling, I felt like this movie was kind of like a match. There were lots of high spots
Yeah.
placed throughout it, and there were just like
But it was-
little lulls. But yeah, this was like one of the
What
last
what
high spots.
more would you want out of an action movie, you know? You got a simple
Yeah,
story.
an
You
action
got
movie,
likable
A
characters.
good match is an action.
You have
movie.
handsome people,
right?
good people to look at. Yeah, absolutely.
good
Good pace to it. So for what it's worth, I mean,
oiled bodies, oiled biceps.
and action scenes like kind of trip me out. Like it messes with time a little bit. Like even, you know, something like this, great CGI, right? And it kind of manipulates time. Like a scene that feels like it's only 3 minutes is actually 8 minutes long. Everything just moves so goddamn fast.
Yeah.
And this is a good action movie. Okay.
So they beat the tsunami. Now they're looking for their daughter. She decides to go to Daniel's strong building, which
By the
seems
way-
like a fucking stupid idea.
Holy shit.
And it was.
How many modes of transportation are we? This is number 5. He
Yeah.
walks, he flies on a chopper, he flies on a plane, he drives,
He hotwires a truck.
he hotwires a truck, and
got
now
the
he's on a
speedboat.
boat.
Yeah.
That's 7.
So they're holed up. The daughter's holed up in Daniel's old building. They signal him as he goes by on the boat with
Right.
like a laser pointer.
There she is.
Yeah. She kisses the British guy.
Tends to his leg. He's just a
Yeah.
liability at this point, honestly. And she probably thinks that too. Like, I don't know if I can keep you around, dude.
And then the building starts to collapse.
Wait, doesn't the tsunami hit? Like another tsunami?
Is that what it was?
I think so. There's a
I
lot
thought
of
the
water.
building was just falling.
Oh, yeah. Maybe. No, because there was a lot of glass at once. I think there was a... No, yeah, you're right. The
the
building fell.
tsunami hit
if
before the
Tsunami
rock
hit,
got-
right, because then their boat would have been hit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the building just falls.
No,
It's
yeah.
slowly sinking, so they have to get higher and higher up
Yeah.
on every floor. And then they have those awesome scenes, which we've seen a million times, that I always like when the water's rising. And I go,
and they're,
we
they're
gotta get
in
up higher.
separate. They're in separate glass as the rock's trying to save her. They're in like separate glass container
Right.
areas, and she's drowning. And he's like, "God damn it! Another one of my daughters is gonna drown."
Yeah. Unbelievable.
And he's like, "Fuck
Don't
it!
give up.
I'm gonna save
I
her."
can figure this out.
He moves all this heavy shit underwater, which must be hard. How do you think you could move heavy shit underwater?
But do you know what the daughter did? She said, I'm sorry. And then she sunk down and took in as much water as possible. Like,
Yeah.
she's so smart about surviving, like, and her father trained her so well that he's like, well, if you're going to drown,
Yeah, you might as well just kill
Just-
yourself.
just take in as much. She was
You told
done.
me to kill myself.
She was like, Dad, it's over. So she took in, like, if she would have just held her breath, because he ended up saving her like 20 seconds later,
Yeah.
the CPR scene never would have happened. We wouldn't.
And
She
we-
wanted. She didn't want to die, of course, but she was
We
ready. She
performed
gave up.
some intense CPR on her.
Yeah.
This scene got me. I got a little choked up.
Barely.
Yeah,
I was like, why isn't the mom fucking help, lady?
she helped get. She rammed the boat into the building. and
No, I
picked
mean,
everybody
yeah,
up.
but no. As soon as she saw her daughter, then she just shut down. CPR should be a 2-man job: one on the face, one on the chest.
No.
Yeah.
Have you ever been taking a CPR class?
Yeah, with the
I'm CPR certified.
Torso
buddy.
Terry.
It's not a 2-man job.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, yeah, you
You
got
do
the-
both. Because you have to count the compressions. Hot, hot,
Ha,
hot,
ha.
hot. Staying
Oh, you
alive.
do 'em at the-
Staying alive.
It would be
Huh?
quicker.
And then you do the breath.
But then you get out of breath. Okay, you're going
Oh.
back and forth. It would have been quicker. It's better with 2 people. All right, you take turns, but it'd be quicker. Boom, you breathe. Okay, now I'll palpitate. I'll do the chest compressions. Doesn't matter. Thank God she lived.
He's a fireman. It's his job. She's not a professional. She's leaving it to the professional.
Well, she could have at least yelled some encouragement. All right.
Did you learn anything from Magic Mike? What did I tell you? I told you to live your life like you were
What the
Channing Tatum,
hell?
and now you're besmirching.
What the hell does
woman?
Mike? What the hell does Magic Mike have to do with earthquake, fire, and safety
Because she
rescue
didn't have
and
to
CPR?
She didn't have to help him give CPR. He was handling it. You could say the same thing about the dumb British guy then. You fucking
Well,
idiot.
his leg was fucked up. He couldn't keep any weight.
What about
on that.
little Oliver?
Oliver doesn't know shit. All right.
Well,
He's just their guide because he's
she
got that
comes
fucking
back to
travel
life.
book. Yeah.
City's basically wiped off the map. No more San Francisco.
Dude,
And then she's
Arsenal.
like-
you see an aircraft carrier leaning up against a building. A building, dude. This is devastating.
She's like, what do we do now? Now we rebuild.
We rebuild.
That got me too. I was like,
Did it?
You're damn right. We'll rebuild.
Yeah. I think so. And you had the flag draped at the Golden Gate Bridge. That was
I mean,
that was pretty
it's
beautiful.
a decent disaster movie.
And now, everything west of the San Andreas Fault is now an island.
Yeah. There's
Which is
gonna
kinda
be
cool.
a San Andreas too.
Oh, really?
It's in the works.
East Coast, probably.
I don't know.
Like Escape from LA, Escape from New York kind of action.
Who knows?
Only the reverse.
It's in development, so it might be a while.
All right.
I'd give this 6.5 bell rings. Tolls of the ring bell.
6.5 out of 10
Yeah.
tolls. Okay. Well, let's see. I thought it was great action. Good pace. Paul Giamatti was great. And after having seen this movie, I still don't know if he and The Rock have ever met.
They probably haven't.
They probably haven't met.
Well, they were probably at the premiere together.
I don't know. I don't know that for a fact.
I'm pretty sure they were at the
They
premiere.
weren't even close. They didn't even know about each other's existence
They
in this
had to
movie.
be at the premiere together.
But like 2 co-stars, they were basically 2 separate stories, right?
Yeah.
And they never converged. So that's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it 7 and 2/3 bell dings out of 10.
Okay.
So just like 7, and then just like while I grab the stick, I'm making a little noise.
You like it a little better than me.
I think so.
All right. Well, on that note, I am twice the man that you are, and I have half the brain that you do.
And I'm Mike Big Tobacco Ryan saying, that was not my baby, it was a doll.